Big fluff.
Listen now, big chance for you. Win a whole lot of prizes. You know we've still got 2 crack stalkers out there, right? Dynamo and Fireball. Who do you think will make the next kill?
Oh, boy. That's a tough one.
Come on, give it a try. You can do it. Who do you think?
Okay. I think the next kill will be made by Ben Richards.
Hold it. Agnes. Richards is a runner. You gotta pick a stalker.
I can pick anyone I choose. And I choose Ben Richards. That boy's one mean motherfucker.
Hello again, I'm Joel Murphy.
And I'm Andy McIntyre.
And this is Silver Linings Playback, the podcast where we watch maligned movies and we find their silver linings.
And we are wrapping up the month of October and wrapping up our look at Stephen King adjacent projects. And we're closing it out with Running Man from 1987. That is technically a Richard Bachman book, but which is a pseudonym Stephen King wrote under, but he later decided to take credit for it. And it's also being remade into a movie directed by Edgar Wright in a couple weeks.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's all correct. I do wonder, like, if he was like, I want to take credit for this, or if just now Stephen King, you know, like at some point he became such a monolith that it's sort of like, well, I mean, tell people you wrote it, because like I'm sure a publishing company was involved with the like, what if we didn't use a cute fake name and used your real name so that more people bought the book?
Yeah, I think that's probably what happened. What I was reading was that one of the reasons that Stephen King published the book is that he was so prolific because he was doing so much cocaine, and his publisher would only let him release a certain number of books a year, and this was so he could release more.
You know, we don't often enough, and I guess we haven't pivoted yet, but this is an early silver lining, talk about all the benefits of cocaine. I mean, if you're really just trying to have a huge output of material, it's really helpful.
If you want to create a lot of content in the 80s, cocaine.
I mean, cocaine, look, I just want to be clear, by the way, at the top, cocaine is not a paid sponsor of this week's episode, but I do just want to say for free, cocaine, it gave us Ghostbusters.
Cocaine, it gave us the first 5 seasons of SNL.
I mean, say what you will about it, but movies were a lot more creative in the 80s. That's all. Yeah. That's all I know.
Your friend and mine, Mike Harris from the Baltimore Improv Group, we were talking the other day, and we were talking about like lobby music or like, you know, music while the audience is coming in for a show. And his argument was cocaine music is better than heroin music. And that's because he was playing Earth, Wind and Fire, which is cocaine music.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a lot more welcoming to the audience than heroin music like Alice in Chains.
Yeah. Or Elliott Smith or something.
Yeah. Or the Velvet Underground or Nirvana or a lot of other things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, way more upbeat for sure. You can dance to it.
Yeah. You can dance to cocaine music in a way you can't to heroin music.
And if you're on cocaine, you will dance to it. You'll probably dance to both, but
yeah, you might.
Now that we got that free plug out of the way, I do just want to at the top take a moment to talk about the top of this movie, because we're treated to an opening crawl. And I just want to say, in the year 2025, this opening crawl hits different. So let me just hit you with it real quick. Yeah. By 2017, the world economy has collapsed. Food, natural resources, and oil are in short supply. A police state divided into paramilitary zones rules with an iron hand. Television is controlled by the state. And a sadistic game show called The Running Man has become the most popular program in history.
Is that science fact now? Is that what we're dealing with?
Yeah, I mean, they nailed it. That's, yeah.
Listen, again, an early silver lining. But I just want to get this out now. This movie looks exactly like the world in 2017 if fashion didn't advance one iota.
If spandex just really hung in there for a few decades.
If hairstyles, fashion, and indoor smoking hung around like they were in the 80s, it's not that different from today.
Right. But I do think there's a lot that, as I'm sure when we get into this, that they did really get right. But we'll probably save that for the second half of the show. But
I don't know. Should that be silver linings? The bleak accuracy of this film, or should that be a reason to malign it? I don't know where that falls. Are we rewarding the accuracy, or are we lamenting the accuracy?
That's true. Like, is it not a silver lining because this was meant to be a warning to us all, like a satirical warning of where we might have been headed? And like, that is a thing that we don't talk about enough, by the way, that like science fiction writers try really hard to warn us about things that they're worried about. And then, you know, like they write iRobot and then they just call them iRobots when they make the actual like Roomba robots and stuff, you know. Like they learn nothing.
Like there's that tweet that repeatedly goes viral where it's like, hey, everybody, I invented the face eating machine from the book Don't Invent the Face Eating Machine.
Yes. Yeah. And there's also all the memes about like, you know, Sarah Connor and John Connor watching you use AI for everything, you know, like, yeah. Yeah. We really didn't absorb the text very well.
No, we noticed that things blew up real good, and we're like, that's all that Terminator was about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not man's hubris in the face of technology.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. Do we want to get into it now? Well, let's get it. I mean, we can get into this stuff now.
Listen, let's get into it because it's definitely not what's wrong with the movie, but it is what's wrong with the world. And for that reason, I feel bad putting it in the silver linings portion of our show. Okay. That's supposed to be positive and uplifting. So that's why I'm gonna take a stand.
All right. Well, yeah. So let's properly. I mean, I read the opening crawl, but just if people don't know, or if you saw this movie when you were on cocaine in the 80s and you're a little fuzzy on the details, the very quick, the Richards, the you know, obviously the guy the lady was talking about at the beginning is Arnold Schwarzenegger. The movie opens. He's a cop on a helicopter and his bosses tell him to gun down a crowd full of innocent people. He refuses. Who
are protesting due to lack of access to resources. Again,
which, you know, we said this is why we're doing the things they got right up top. But yeah, so he refuses to fire upon a crowd. They arrest him and they send him to prison. And then this game show hosted by Richard Dawson is The Running Man, where basically they take a fugitive, and that fugitive goes on the run in order to try to evade some American Gladiator type bad guys who are chasing them in order to supposedly escape. Although the movie quickly reveals like the escape is a lie.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, just the premise alone, I feel like that TV show kind of exists.
Well, yeah, it's definitely really correctly predicting reality TV, essentially. We're not quite murdering people on TV yet, but
no.
But the overall tone and idea of the show, and also, I guess, again, this could be a silver lining, but since we are just talking about things they predicted, it did actually, when American Gladiators was created not long after this, they used footage from this movie to sell the show American Gladiators. And they were basically like, it's this, but we're not going to murder people. So literally someone did make a show based on this idea.
Yeah, we're going to have these larger than life characters compete against more or less regular Joes for violence in sport.
Yeah. So nailed all of that.
All of it. Yeah, this movie's just, if someone told me this movie took place 6 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, that feels right.
But they predicted that. I think some other things just to mention that were predicted correctly. I mean, you could argue like the proliferation of sports betting online is really hinted at in this movie, but that was kind of inevitable anyway. But I think one of the biggest that people often cite this movie for as a early example of talking about something that is now a major issue and will continue to be a major issue is the end of this movie revolves around a deep fake that they get a guy who looks like Arnold, who I think is Arnold's stunt double playing the character, but they digitally replace the guy's face with Arnold's face to have Jesse Ventura. Look like
Captain Freedom, Jesse Ventura murder him.
Yep. So yeah, they nailed that. That happens now.
Yeah, it's real good that's a thing that happens.
Yep.
And now I can watch Instagram reels of what if Martin Luther King was a wrestler.
Yes. Yeah, which is a thing that happened until they banned Martin Luther King as a prompt on AI.
That's probably good.
Yeah. But also, yeah, I guess just one more that they nailed is, we're really big on like extrajudicious like kidnappings these days, like, no trial, straight to hunting people. They nailed that.
Yeah, they got that dead on. It's not being broadcast live on television for sport yet. So,
but it is being filmed on cell phones and posted online. So
that's true, but not for sport. So technically, we are slightly better in that regard. We are marginally better than Running Man.
Which should be the bar. Honestly, if that is what we all decide to do, is Running Man is the bar of like, once we've officially, it's like the nuclear clock. Like once we officially pass Running Man.
We're 2 minutes to Running Man.
Also, by the way, I didn't mention this earlier, but I think maybe this is now a good time to mention it. So the movie takes place in 2017, but the original book, which it strays from quite a bit, is set in 2025. And this is the tagline. This is real. Edgar Wright actually posted this to promote his movie. The tagline on the book, The Running Man, is "Welcome to America in 2025, when the best men don't run for president, they run for their lives."
Oof. Oof. That physically hurt me.
Yes, it should.
I am wounded by that line of text from our boy Stephen King in 1978.
Yeah. And it's maybe worth mentioning now to get a little deeper into things that this movie strays pretty far from the original book. I assume that Edgar Wright's version will, even from the trailers, it looks like it's a little closer. But in the book, it's even more, I don't know if it's more depressing, but it's just like in the book, instead of like it being prisoners that are forced to do it, it's people that are poor who are doing it for the promise of cash voluntarily.
Which I don't know which one seems more plausible.
Right. That's why I was like, I started to say worse, but I'm like, I actually don't know. I think they're both terrible in different ways.
Yeah, they're bad different. One is not worse than the other. They're bad. Yeah, like this movie takes the idea of a show where someone's running for their life and making it a sport, and that's sort of where the similarities end. Whereas in the book, there aren't the larger than life hunter characters. Everybody's theoretically hunting this guy. And the whole point is he has to make like 2 video messages a day in order to keep, going in the competition.
Yeah. And there's sort of an incentive for people to rat out where he is. Like if someone tells the hunters like where they are, then they get money. Like it's a whole ecosystem essentially that you can either try to hunt the guy, you can be a rat that like says where the guy is, you know, there's like layers to it. And yeah, he gets like money for every hour that he lives.
But there wasn't a buzzsaw or a dynamo or a fireball or anything like that.
Which I guess like, because so I'm kind of torn because I don't know whether to malign it or not, but I think we have to talk about the fact because like I'm of mixed feelings on it. The thing about this movie is it is peak Arnold Schwarzenegger. Any actual stakes, any real emotions are immediately undercut by a joke every single time. He might as well be saying "ice to meet you." He does say "I'll be back" in it. Like it's constant catchphrases, it's constant silliness. And I want to be clear because I don't hate it. It's fun, but I do think it undercuts what the movie's trying to do.
Yeah, I think it hurts the message of the movie a little bit. I don't know that I'm willing to fully say that it's a reason to malign the movie.
Right.
But does it mean we got the best version of this movie? Probably not.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this recently, that it's, you know, with remakes, that it's kind of nice that Edgar Wright is remaking this because this is a logical thing to do a more accurate take on.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, although I will say, if the best version of this movie doesn't include Dynamo, I don't want the best version of this movie.
Right. That's why I said I'm very torn on it, because I don't hate it, you know.
No,
but
it's because this movie has charm, and this movie takes a different slant at how this scenario could play out. Like its dystopian slant is more of the show of it, the more the P.T. Barnum, Vince McMahon, Huckster side of things, as opposed to this original Stephen King story. And apparently the Edgar Wright movie, just from the trailers and what I've read about it, is more of like a little bleaker.
Yes. Yeah. Still fun, I think, but yeah, definitely bleak. And yeah, I think it's that, like, it's still a dystopian warning of the future, but more along the lines of like Idiocracy than, you know, Terminator.
Yeah, it's a little closer to Idiocracy.
Yeah.
But like, again, very plausible that things could have gone that route where it is that much of a show.
Absolutely. That's why I don't know that it's a wrong interpretation. And, you know, but I just think we should note it that, like, I think that might be a reason some people malign it. And I think it does at times undercut the larger story that's happening.
Well, yeah, I think it bears its way into parody instead of satire is probably a good way to put it.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, I think that it's goofy, and
yes,
and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's goofy in a way that maybe does detract from the overall message of this being a cautionary tale.
Yeah. I think another thing that we need to talk about here at this part is, so Andrew Davis was the original director. And he was fired from this. He had disagreements. Like I read some stuff about it. Like he wanted Arnold's character to hold on to an exploding hockey puck and use it at the, I don't know. Like he was behind schedule. They didn't agree creatively. And for whatever reason, he got let go. And then he was replaced by Paul Michael Glaser, who is really a TV director. And I think that also plays into what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
That I think that guy leaned really heavily into silliness over what would have been a little bit more action. Because most Arnold movies manage to balance the two, you know.
The best ones do.
Yeah. Fair.
I think it's important to point out that Paul Michael Glaser, also Starsky.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
That he is a TV director, but he's also Starsky.
Yes. Yeah.
Of Starsky and Hutch fame.
Yes. Which, does that make him? Is he the Paul Simon of Starsky and Hutch? Is he the more talented?
I don't know, because like Art Garfunkel went on to do a lot of like really great behind the scenes session work, so he might be the Garfunkel. I don't know.
We got to look more into Hutch.
You got to look more into Hutch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think, I think I would wager that Paul Michael Glaser probably had the more prosperous career post Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that Arnold hated working with him and really hates his creative decisions and never worked with him again.
Yes.
But he did go on to work again with Andrew Davis on a later project.
Yeah, that's true.
Collateral Damage, if you were wondering.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. Which is that has the your luggage line, right?
It does.
When he kills an alligator. Yeah. Which is, think about that, everybody, too, because it's not just that he says it, but he's also saying it to an animal that he killed.
That happens.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, this movie is ridiculous. And yeah, I don't know that there's much else that I need to or that we need to malign. I don't know. Because
I mean, I think we should comment on the 80s-ness sexism of him breaking into a woman's apartment and she's working out in negligee, and it's very like assaulty in tone the way that they are introduced, and then she falls in love with him. It's not great. Just want to say all of that's not great. I actually like her character overall, but I think that intro scene, I definitely was like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah, it's her character is Maria Conchita Alonso, is the actress, who coincidentally went on to star in Predator 2 as well.
Cruise Control. It's the sequel to Predator. Yeah.
Predator 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. But yeah, I like her overall. I think her character has a good arc, but I really, that's a good example of that first scene is really played for laughs. And it's essentially a convict breaking into a woman's house when she's barely dressed and like threatening her. It's not a good structural scene.
It is not. That is
also,
true statement.
I'm pretty positive women don't usually, I'll say, work out in negligee like that.
That has not been my experience.
Yeah.
As someone who coaches women's sports, I wouldn't let them. I'd be like, no, you need to put on workout clothes.
Well, and I was, this is a fun fact about me, the statistician for the girls' soccer team in high school, and I would ride on the bus with them. And many of them did actually change in front of me because that's how non-sexual they viewed me. Nice. And but it was all sports bras,
Yeah. I was also furniture to girls in high school.
That's one of the things you and I have in common. Like, we weren't there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so can relate.
Yeah. But yeah, that was I got to sit on the field during what is it, the homecoming, like we had a thing called Freshman Day that I'm sure a lot of schools have, where it's like a day designated to beating up freshmen, and it was the Friday before homecoming. But because I was the statistician for the girls' soccer team, I get to sit on the field with them, which meant I wasn't in the freshman section. And there you go. When they cleared them out, they would send the freshmen out first and they would all run to their buses. And I was on the field and I started walking and a guy turned to me, one of the athletes, and was like, "You ready? Let's go get him." And I was like, "Yeah, let's go get him." And then I let him run ahead of me and just like.
Oh, man, that's great.
Yep. Yeah, those are my sports hijinks in high school after having told my dad that I wanted to quit playing soccer so I could do theater.
I'm sure that was a great conversation.
I should also mention he was my coach.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some aspects of this movie that that don't age particularly well, that are very much of their time. And it's just interesting, like, and it's not really worth either silver lining nor maligning it. But like every time a movie takes a stab at futurism, the things they pick to stay the same are always the wrongest.
Right. Yeah, well, there's a lot of like physical media in this. There's a lot of like that is one of the funnier things is that when they're trying to capture, like to prove the deep fake or to show, because one of the big things is that they manipulate the footage that Arnold sends in to make it look like he gunned down the crowd and they were trying to stop him. Like they essentially reverse the narrative.
They try to make him a heel.
But all of that, it's like kept on these like kind of physical media like drives that she
essentially
finds, like,
almost like the actual like old actual floppy disks, not the 3/4 inch ones.
Right. But it's like, yeah, they really failed to predict hard drives like storing media files, that it's still a file cabinet that these things are kept in. But
like they very incorrectly predicted that old ladies in 2017 would still dress like old ladies in the 80s.
Well, everyone, yeah, they really thought the fashion wasn't changing. They thought the American Gladiator
the indoor
contestants
smoking was here to stay.
Yeah. Well, also, I don't know if you had this, but kind of a funny thing where, and I like the scene, but it's, there's the whole scene where he after breaking into her apartment, he wants to use her to get on an airplane to get out of the country. And she has a pass that allows her to travel and he doesn't. And it's just the idea that he's able to sort of sweet talk the gate agent to be like, oh, honey, where's your pass? Isn't it in your purse? And then they're just like, go ahead. And it's like, wow, you guys really missed on that one. Yeah.
Although had this movie predicted 9/11 in the TSA, we'd have a whole different conversation.
Especially this version of it, like not the book, but if this tonal version.
Yeah. It's like, that due to that terrorist attack 14 years ago that that we need to make sure you go through this rigorous screening, or you can pay $85 and not have to do it.
Anyway, take off your shoes. What?
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it before, but it's a wild thing in old movies to watch how, like, I'm not saying it's good now. And obviously, anytime I fly, I get super annoyed. But it feels insane to watch a movie from the 1970s where someone smoking just walks up to a plane and gets on it. And nobody really bats an eye.
Buys a ticket at the gate like a bus.
Yeah. And then just walks on board, cigarette still in hand, and just like flies off 5 minutes later.
Yeah, it would be nice if things were closer to that, probably.
I think there's a middle ground, but I guess maybe the world has broken me enough to go like, that might have been too lax.
Yeah, I would like to live in a world where air travel is safe and affordable enough that it's like buying a Metro North train ticket.
Meanwhile, the thing that is happening that wasn't predicted by this movie is we're just getting rid of seats. We're going to have standing planes now.
You're just going to hold on to that the rail like
that's the way. That's how it's becoming more like a bus or a train, is that you have to stand, not that it's cheap and you can walk on.
You're still paying through the nose to do it, but now you get to stand.
Yeah.
For 4 hours as you fly to Colorado.
Yeah. But I'm probably ready to pivot.
I'm definitely good to pivot. This movie is so goofy and fun.
Yes, absolutely. Like, to be clear, we both enjoyed it. Like,
big time. And like, I don't know that I would say this movie is good, but it's enjoyable. At worst, enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Pivot!
And you know what? It starts with one Arnold Aloysius Schwarzenegger.
Absolutely. Yes.
He rules. I love Arnold. He's great. Yeah. He is always awesome. I've never seen an Arnold performance where I'm like, nope, I don't like that. Yeah. He's great.
Yeah, and it's the way he was able to zero in on comedy and action, like being a convincing action star while also doing really great physical comedy, really great one-liners, being silly but badass at the same time. And I do love that he took roles like this. This is a weird movie, and he clearly wanted to do it. He liked doing a lot of sci-fi stuff, a lot of weird conceptual stuff. Like he was really game for pretty much whatever, and was really fun.
Well, it's one of those things with Arnold that he's maybe unique in this regard, but while he's definitely been like miscast or poorly cast in a few things, in most of his movies, you're like, no, Arnold's the only person that could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, which is funny too, because again, in the book, it's like physically the guy is nothing like his character. He's supposed to be scrawny. He's probably more like Michael Cera in the new one is physically how he was described.
Yeah. But no, like no one else could have done the Terminator the way Arnold did. No one else could have been Harry Tasker in True Lies the way Arnold did. Last Action Hero may be the best example of that.
Well, True Lies is great because, and I think The Simpsons has kind of, nailed this with McBain of just like the funniest thing about True Lies is the idea of like, oh, Harry? Oh, come on. He's just a working stiff. He could never be a CIA agent.
This Adonis who's carved out of granite.
Yeah. Like, it's hilarious in and of itself. And then you have Bill Paxton just being this weasel pretending to be it. Like, it's just the actual visual of him pretending to be an inept schlub who Jamie Lee Curtis is about to cheat on is gold as a premise. It's like absolutely hilarious.
A True Lies rules. I love that movie. If you take nothing else away from this podcast, go see True Lies.
Go see True Lies, and we could also probably do it for the show because there's a lot of problematic stuff in True Lies, but it's super fun. It's super fun.
Yeah, I think that the next place to go is, and we already kind of talked about it with the Maligned, but the Hunters are awesome.
Yes. Yeah. All, as you would say, lights up characters. Like I like the gimmicks of everyone. The baby that lights up, the hockey playing, like exploding
samurai.
Puck guy. Yeah. Samurai.
Played by WWE Hall of Famer, Professor Toru Tanaka.
Yeah. You get Jesse Ventura as
Captain
Spandex.
Freedom.
But he's Captain Freedom, but he like, basically, we see a lot of commercials where he's leading exercise programs. Like he's kind of Jane Fonda or something. Like
he's DDP.
Yeah. He's DDP. But yeah, no, all of those characters. Also, Jim Brown is one of
as Fireball.
As Fireball. Who
has a jetpack and flamethrower.
Yeah, awesome. Like, no, they're all really like, man, we said it at the top, but man, thank you, cocaine. You really came up with some amazing, weird, specific characters.
No, I'm amazed it took movies that long to say, what if we gave Jim Brown a jetpack and a flamethrower?
Someone was pitching that over and over and over again. And finally he found the crowd.
They cause like, all right, listen, Steve, you're not going to believe this, but we got a part for Jim Brown. And he's going to have a jetpack and a flamethrower. Don't mess with me, Bill. Don't mess with me like that, Bill.
I'm still stinging over the Rain Man people stiffing me on this.
Listen, they promised it in the Dirty Dozen and didn't deliver.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. No, they're all great. They're great characters, and all of the action scenes are they're fun and they all feel different. Like
like the murders, and like I think it's really well executed. Arnold Schwarzenegger winning over the crowd. Like, it's super believable. It happens in a way, like, narratively, that is the best executed thing in the whole movie. Like, the ending's a little rushed. We could talk about stuff like that, but like the way he wins people over to his side.
Well, the clip from the beginning with the old lady where it's just like, I mean, we just spent this whole time talking about how much we love Arnold. If it was a world where you were seeing Arnold for the first time and every other time you had seen this show, it was just these gladiators mowing down all the contestants, and all of a sudden this guy's kicking their ass. It's totally believable that that lady would predict that he would get the next kill and be really excited about it.
Yeah. The other big thing I want to highlight too is, in addition to Arnold, in addition to Richard Dawson, who I think we need to talk about on his own in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Yaphet Kotto is just one of the all-time great that guy actors.
Yep.
That you know him as Kananga / Mr. Big in Live and Let Die. He's in Alien. I forget his character's name because Ripley's the only character who matters. Parker. That's right.
Yeah.
He's Al Giardello in Homicide: Life on the Street. Maybe one of the best police procedurals of the 90s. Yaphet Kotto rules. Like, he is
just gravitas, just like instant gravitas when he shows up for parts like this. Like, there are always these little parts that he comes in and
so
nails.
Good, and he's so cool. And like, Yaphet Kotto is one of the unsung heroes of Hollywood in general, but like a movie like this, he's great.
Yes. No, I think that is really important to spotlight him. I think that's great. Since you mentioned him, and I do want him to get his due, I love Richard Dawson so much. He is fantastic. He is such perfect casting for this. One of the things that Molly and I love doing is watching the old Match games from the 70s. And like Dawson on Match Game in the 70s, where he was really good at the game. He was who people would always want to pick as their final celebrity to match with. And if you didn't listen to him and you went on your own and he was right, he would give you the most scathing look as to like, I tried to tell you, you know, like always. By the way, should mention this should probably goes without saying if people have seen Match Game in the 70s, but like always drunk, all of them so drunk all the time, which was the charm.
Drunk.
Yeah. Like it's daytime television and every single panel member is like six martinis in.
It's Phyllis Diller and Richard Dawson and Paul Lynde just lit.
Yeah, absolutely lit, and just like roasting contestants that are just regular people that have come on this show to try to match with them. And they're just
Donna from Des Moines just getting fried by Flip Wilson.
Because she couldn't come up with a comedic answer on the spot that was as funny as what the professional comedian said. It's a great show. It's truly so delightful. Betty White shows up on there a lot too, and she's really great to see.
And Betty White's great.
Anyway, but so I always think of Dawson from that. Obviously, went on to host Family Feud, where he's most famous, as they make nod to in this movie, of like kissing the lady contestants on the cheeks, which is a thing you could do in the 80s and you absolutely could not do now. And I think that's just correct.
No, it's I think that's an area that we've improved as a society.
Yep. So, but Dawson, I mean, it's a gimmick casting that's perfect. Like he is absolutely at the time the perfect person to play this part, and he's really good at it. He's really good at the heel stuff, like being the villain and carrying the movie.
Yeah, like the parts where he has to act as the character, not as the game show host. He really does do a really great job in that. Where you wouldn't you'd expect him to be good as the playing himself, essentially those bits.
Yeah.
But like when he's playing the sadistic host of the show behind the scenes, he crushes those too.
Yeah, I do. I want to give another shout out to like a hyper specific bit of casting that is also, I think, a bit of stunt casting, which is Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac plays a character named Mick that seems to be implied is Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac. He's
it's amazing.
Yeah, he's the leader of the resistance. His character name is Mick. He says stuff about like the government destroyed my music. Like he's saying lines that make it sound like he is just him. And he's definitely like a hippie character that like is leading the revolution. But like he's really good too. Like he
is.
Yeah.
One other acting performance I want to highlight because it set up maybe one of the best character actor careers of all time. But Kurt Fuller playing the slimy yes man starts with this movie.
Yes.
And I would say 4 out of every 10 slimy yes men from movies from 1987 to 2012 starred Kurt Fuller in that role.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. He was the guy if you needed this done.
From Ghostbusters 2 to Wayne's World to No Holds Barred.
Oh, right. So we should also do for this show.
We've done it.
Oh, right. We did do No Holds Barred. Yeah.
With Tim German a million years ago. And I like that we're to the point that we're forgetting movies that we've done.
I mean, we're getting close to 300, so it's inevitable that
we
I
are.
will
That's
begin
true.
to forget what we've done. That's why I have a letterbox to try to track them all.
Exactly. But no, Kurt Fuller, just, that he's a delightful human being because he is such a slime ball in the roles that he plays.
Well, in Wayne's World,
just a great person.
I think you see a little bit of that in Wayne's World. You see both sides,
Yeah, because he has that redemption arc.
Yes.
I learned that platonic love can exist between a man and another man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the great scene where he stops Garth and he's like, I have to stop you. Russell said to, and he's like, no, Russell is a dick. If Russell wasn't ice cream flavor, he'd be pralines and dick.
And dick.
And then he takes the flashlight and disarms it, and dumps the batteries out of it.
It's like, all right, no, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. And they play the Mission Impossible theme.
Yeah, it's Kurt Fuller. In also perfect casting in that short-lived show, That's My Bush, he played Karl Rove.
Yeah,
which is just pitch perfect casting. No, he's great. This movie is such a wonderful time capsule for 80s futurism.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is a weird sentence to say.
And it nailed the fact that the 1980s were the beginning of the dystopian hellscape that we now live in. That was another thing it was right about.
Yeah, that's where it started. Yeah.
Also, I don't even know if this is a silver lining, but worth mentioning, 2 future governors are in this movie.
2 future governors. Yes.
Yeah.
That are both WWE Hall of Famers.
Right. And Ventura, great. I always love seeing Jesse Ventura.
I love Jesse Ventura. He's great.
You can see a little bit more in this movie. It does, I would say, a worse job than Predator of hiding how much he dwarfs Arnold Schwarzenegger, like as actual physical specimens.
Yeah, that Arnold Schwarzenegger has documented one of the most impressive physiques of all time. Was the only time that bodybuilding was big business is when he was doing it. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think that he's reported as 6 feet tall, but is actually closer to 5'10".
Yeah. Yeah. He's basically a refrigerator. He's very wide, but he's not that tall.
And is in incredible physical shape. Whereas Jesse Ventura is legit 6'4", or at the time was legit 6'4". I'm sure the years have shrunk him a little bit.
Yeah.
And so he's a good 6 inches taller than Arnold.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just massive as as most wrestlers are. Wrestlers usually are actually tall versus actors who are usually actually short.
Right. Although nowadays wrestlers are getting smaller and smaller. Like they aren't as big as you used to. The larger than life guy is sort of going away, that there aren't as many. But that's for another podcast for another time.
Yep. I think we did it, though.
I think we definitely did it. This movie rules. Go watch it. And Try not to think too hard about its accuracy for predicting the future, or else you'll get real sad.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to say as we get out of here, the last silver lining that I have, because it delighted me to no end, is how this movie ends, which is that you get a really great close up of Arnold Schwarzenegger looking at Maria Conchita Alonso staring back at each other. And then the most corny 80s song you've ever heard in your entire life plays, and we're out. And I love that for this movie. So just want to say that. And so that's why I'm going to look at Andy that way, and he can look back at me, and then we're out.